Hello, everyone. I'd like to let you know that I've quit my job and booked a one-way ticket to Lithuania, and I don't think I'm coming back anytime soon. So, without further ado, I present this final update video for the Netherlands. I've been wanting to make a video for a while, but every video that I make just kind of feels like complaining. I've more or less decided to leave Groningen. Time just flies by, and I'm just sitting here in the same place in my own head, and everything's like a river flowing around me, and I'm just not moving. So, I would say that this is the ideal situation right now, just with work and how much I have to do and what I have, but if only I didn't feel like I was losing my mind. What do I do, chat? What do I do? Do not think of this as a prison, but as a place of peace. I'm sleeping on the floor now because I convinced myself that my bed is making me sick because it's disgusting. I'm just like in a place where I want to get rid of everything, and I don't feel comfortable unless I can move in a moment's notice, which is kind of something I can never get out of my head, that every place I stay isn't permanent. It's a place I'm gonna have to leave and quickly. At some point in time, I won't be able to stay there anymore. And then if I have all of my things there, then what happens to them, right? Yeah, I don't know. I'll clean up the mess tomorrow. I always clean up the mess on the weekend. On Saturday, sometimes on Friday, but like not all the time on Friday, because today's like today. I just feel fucked up. I'm too tired, I have to lay down. Or like today, I work from home, but I have to take naps. Otherwise, I just feel sick. So I guess I'm overdoing it, but then I'm not even doing that much. So stop sitting. I don't know. I'm recording myself. So I feel pretty done. I've kind of given up on getting a house.
Oh, wow, windows. I don't think I can afford this place.
I've given up on the idea of starting a family. I've given up on my idea that I would live here permanently. I no longer feel that it is necessary for me to stay in the Netherlands. And after 5 years, it's just simply another place to me. The golden halo is gone, and I am just living the reality of daily life. But I think now I'm at a place where I'm somewhat bored out of my mind. Um, it feels a lot like how I felt in the US. I just have easier access to things. I'm tired of my apartment. I'm tired of my desk job and the work I've been doing for 3 years, and nothing really changes. And I've decided to make a change. I feel like I have to get everything out of the places where it's put, and I have to put it and organize it and get it ready to go, and get it so that everything is in a box and ready to leave if I have to leave, because then I know I can just leave if I have to leave. And I want to leave. I just don't know when I need to leave. But I want to leave. But I have to make sure I can leave really fast. But why would I need to leave really fast? I don't know. Bamboo is struggling. That's another thing I don't like, is it's hard to grow stuff here. Unless seems, at least, I don't know, my apartment it is. Everything just ends up dying. There's not enough light. So, yeah, I have to put this light here so that they're okay. And then I think my avocado is not doing too hot. It's almost 2 years old now, but yeah, it's getting yellow. I think it's gonna pass. Ta-da! Yum. It's like I'm looking out from behind my eyes. It's like I've had a full frontal lobotomy and can't think anymore. I can't learn. I can't stay in one spot. And I think the issue is I have some kind of anxiety disorder. Or maybe I'm autistic and I just can't cope. I don't know. But I feel lost and abandoned and tired. So tired. I am isolated. I am alone. I am in my own fucking world thing.
J'ai parcouru le monde et j'ai trouvé mon étoile. Et je ne veux plus de situation bancale. Maintenant, je veux retrouver le calme et la paix dans mon âme. Et je vivrai dans...
I wanna scream. I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing anything. I've been relegated really to the only role remaining to me, which is that of an expat. I didn't want to be an expat. That idea of the expat life and kind of what it entails was never very interesting to me. I hate the word. expat, and I hate the kind of lifestyle that it entails. I want to be involved with a community. I want to build a life, and I don't want it to be transitory. And I don't want to be surrounded by lost people. I don't want to be surrounded by lost people who don't know where they belong. And that is really the kind of community you get with being an expat. That is the expat life. You are nomadic. It is my third winter in Groningen. It was by random chance that I ended up here, and I think that I have made the most of it. I've grown a lot as a person for the better, I hope. um, but I feel like I am stagnating. I want to continue to explore what's out there in the world. And I think there's a lot still that I haven't seen, that I can't really get where I am now, in the situation that I am now. And I think I'm only holding myself back in a lot of ways.
Why am I so detached? Is this really me? Fucking misery again. Fuck this fan. This fucking fan. I'm so uptight about air quality. It's just a fixation. Oh my god, but it's not. Oh. Doesn't help, doesn't matter. Oh my god, dude. I'm looking at the phone. That's the last thing I want to do right now. I just want to talk. I just want to talk to someone. Maybe I'm not going to use this. Elon Musk, you sick fuck.
I never wanted to travel the world alone. And I've made a lot of great friends, had a lot of great experiences. And now I've explored many of the countries in Europe, but traveling for the sake of traveling kind of sucks. I don't want more shallow travel experiences. I want to be a part of the culture or have an enriching experience that's not alone but with friends. Amsterdam was probably the happiest I've been for the shortest flash of time because I was with people.
I've been learning my limits, and I've really been learning my limits for basically what I can take and how much isolation I can take and how drained I can get before I crack. And I think I am just about at the limit of my ability to cope with the kind of situation that I am living in now. I really want to give up. The lay flat, tang ping. Humans weren't meant, I feel, to be as alone in everything that they do as I have been. And it's partially self-imposed and partially because partially because of just the kind of situation you have where you don't know anyone, you're an immigrant, and you have no support at all. Zero. None. You have your friends, but they have their own lives, and you have no family. And I think the complete lack of family is something that I don't really need. anymore. And I don't have the best relationship with my family, and I don't want to go back to the island where I was living, but I can try to make more of an effort to have that kind of connection again, and I'm kind of looking for that. So um, I'm going to make some drastic changes. I am ready to move on. That wall that I have with learning and education that came from university and before that, which I haven't really talked about, has kind of I've just given up on learning Dutch. I've given up on learning everything, and um, my motivation has really gone with it. I have my kind of projects, my mediocre projects, and um, I kind of slide in and out of these dark places of thought like it's a dream, and I forget where things are, and I misplace everything, and I'm just kind of living in a weird zoned out world. Um, Now I've had a lot of great experiences. Um, I've had a lot of time to think, and I've made a lot of great friends. I've explored so many places in Europe, and are any of these places for me? I still can't say, but I have at least learned a thing or two about what I want in life and what I value in life. And I feel that Groningen isn't the place where I want to settle and stay. I do have something reminiscent of a life here now, um, but it hasn't been without its struggles, of course. And life for me has been a constant roller coaster of emotions, both positive and negative, up and down. And I don't think where I live really matters. And where I live isn't necessarily going to solve that. Shouldn't have held it like this. Ooh. So I took some of the advice in the comments and opened up to my manager about how tough it's been. And I got the okay to work only 3 days per week, 24 hours per week. It gives me just enough money to pay rent and survive. So that's not ideal, but it gave me time to think, and I am grateful to live comfortably here and only work 24 hours per week. But all of my creativity is gone, and all of my energy is gone, and it doesn't come back. And it's just been this slow drain of willpower. And if I were to put it at like a chart over time, it would just and anyway, my anxiety has been going up and up. And I noticed over the last 2 summers, I would feel refreshed and relaxed during the nice weather. And that didn't really happen this year. And there's a lot of small things that add up over time, dumb things, not so dumb things. And I keep trying to make videos about it, but it just leads to even more anxiety. And I'm just thinking, why do I want to post this shit? I just sound like I'm whining. Why do I even want people to watch me? And it's because I'm lonely and want justification to continue putting myself through this and doing what I've been doing. Um, and I just can't justify it, I think, any longer. Now, if I were to give a few bullet points, I wrote a few down. A big one is that I don't feel included in the fabric of daily life. And don't get me wrong, some people have gone out of the way to make me welcome, and I'm super appreciative of that. But I feel I have no family here, of course, and I didn't expect any. But I have friends, and a lot of them are just kind of transitory internationals or planning to move away. And then I get into this cycle of blaming myself for not learning Dutch to integrate with the other ones. But I haven't learned Dutch because I went to work on other things, and I still have a lot of anxiety and PTSD even. And I think around school and classrooms and exams, and it just sends me into a spiral every time I try and get serious. And I don't know how to fix this beyond picking a spot and getting lucky and staying there. And I don't have meaning otherwise. And um, I'm just too drained all the time to make a difference just by existing here. Culturally, um, at least in Groningen, I don't think it's a good fit. Uh, I thought a student city would be a good idea because there'd be people my age and lots of events, but I haven't been able to attend any because I'm working when they're scheduled, which has been partially solved by just working 3 days per week. But yeah, I'm definitely not a student, and I'm 5 years older now, and I'm like a postdoc. I'm in that age range, and um, I should be teaching the students at this point, which is a little bit wild to me. But yeah, I don't think the student vibe is what's there for me anymore. So yeah, I thought about signing up for some courses. I did do a few courses, but then it's back to this just not really feeling it anymore. Um, but yeah, I've just felt so drained. I've had so little energy, and I'm just not motivated to continue school here and switch careers or something. Here, I don't want to do it. The idea of spending another year here and signing another lease in Groningen fills me with dread. So there's something wrong there, and I think I should look for something else. Yeah, and if I wanted to do school, I would have to book like a bachelor's degree and just start all over again, which would mean another 3 years at Groningen just doing a bachelor's degree, which I've already tried to do twice, which does not sound fun to me. And yeah, the idea of spending 3 more years at this job and at this this just area of the city fills me with panic. On that note, I have not been able to find an apartment that's better than the current one, and it's making me feel trapped in this concrete cell. Housing in the Netherlands is the country's biggest problem, I would say, and it's like that everywhere, all over the world. It's not just the Netherlands. There's too many people, and everyone wants to live in a nice, cozy place. I've heard people complain in Berlin, in Naples, in Istanbul, in every city in the world, and like, please stop breeding because it's starting to get to be a huge problem. Another bullet point, let's see. Companies look at me like I'm temporary and they aren't sure if I'm going to stay. They don't offer me the permanent contracts, at least at my current company, that most people get. And after 3 years with no permanent contract, um, they say they love me being around, but I don't get the same kind of feeling that I am valued or that people even understand the kind of work that I am doing. And it's hilarious when people ask about something I've talked about so many times and I just have to explain it again and there's just no comprehension at all. So yeah, I haven't been promoted. I haven't gotten any raises beyond like the base amount, and they'll give me bonuses, but it's just $500 or something. And for the amount of work I put in, I there's just no future there. Let's see, what did I write down here? I said it's a mix of their fault and my fault for not being motivated enough, at least in regards to integration and learning Dutch and being super sure if I'm going to stay or not. Um, but the people are just so boring. I mean, if you see this, I'm sorry, but yeah, I've started to feel trapped, and um, I have I have to belong to something, um, and I'm not a good analyst, and I'm not good with numbers, and I never was, and this isn't going anywhere. So I'm not really interested in the work anymore. and I have completed the tasks that I wanted to complete, and I'm done. I'm just doing the same things again and again, so I need new work. Socially, I have some good friends. We hang out a lot on the weekends. I'll definitely miss them. And I joined a makerspace, and I've been hanging out with other people who are working on projects. I'm still surrounded by people, but I feel lonely and disconnected. Like my eyes are video screens, and I'm like watching it on a delay, and there's 5 different screens moving around in front of me, and I'm just 5 degrees of separation behind them. And the loneliness, I mean, it's not even the loneliness, this disconnectedness of it's going to be the death of me. I think it's not healthy, and it stresses me out, and I can physically feel it. And I am socializing more than I ever have, but I have never felt so disconnected. And I have felt more alone, to be fair, but never so without meaning. Like I always felt like I could do something new and it would get better. And yeah, I just, I belong to nothing. So I have to find a calling again. Um, and maybe I'll try design, some kind of industrial design thing, and try and meld art and design and engineering into some kind of thing. I really don't know at this point. It's all going to be luck again, I think. I'll probably end up at some IT job again that I don't like, but I am literally not going to let myself do that, I think. Anything else. Um, on the topic of meaning, I have a lot of friends who've turned religious around this age, or try something different, or start a family, and maybe it's biology, or but my body is just screaming at me that something is wrong, and it's like, where is your community? Where is your family? Where is your tribe? You'll die alone. And it's a slight panic that I can't get rid of. Um, I feel like I'm existing, but not really living. And I don't have the clarity of thought that I crave, this vision that I see in other people. Um, so, like, why am I forgetting words before I say them? Curry, temples, deficit, lamp. I open my mouth and stare in awkward silence, trying to remember my own language. It's pretty routine now, but it's also this strange kind of building isolation that comes when I don't understand anything that's said around me for years and years on end. Um, I was hoping, I think, that in some way I would be adopted. I mean, it kind of happened in some ways, but I always pulled away, and it just never felt right to me. And then I run, and the result is I'm forever alone. But yeah, like adopted by, like, I mean adopted into some kind of local family structure, maybe find a girlfriend, that kind of thing. But it happened to some people, did not happen to me. So I was not lucky in that sense. Um, do I have seasonal depression? Oh, yes, absolutely. And do I do well in the cold? No, my ears hurt and it makes my entire headache. And there's lots of trauma and issues entirely unrelated to my living situation and workplace. Yes, definitely. Will leaving them make them better? Probably not. Based on how I was mentally to begin with, coming here and being a nomad for years on end, my mental state and general outlook were never great. At least I did something, though, instead of rotting. I don't know if I agree with that anymore. So, the conclusion: I need to keep moving, but towards what? I finished my book. My book. Oh my God. I mean, you have to start somewhere, right? Um, And yeah, I'm working on a bunch of different tinkering projects that aren't really going anywhere. And I see tinkerers twice my age working on projects that will never mean anything. And I wonder if I'm wasting my time and if in 20 years I'll still be messing around and having learned hardly anything. And maybe I should just be doing something else because, yeah, and also artificial intelligence and all that shit is not helping. Where do I belong? What should I be working on? I want to help people. I want to feel alive. I want to relax. I want to throw myself at something and achieve it for once. But nothing really presents itself unless I grip it with both hands and scream. And even then, what difference does it really make? What difference has it made to what I can do? I fall apart when I'm challenged, and I feel like a blank void if I'm not. I want things to change. Um, I'm selling all of my things again, and this time I'm going to allow myself an extra suitcase and for my electronics gear and my project materials. Mm, and I still want to build things. So at least that's still a hobby for me. And I'm just going to ship it all to my parents because, yeah, they'll probably just sell it in a year when I realize I don't need it at all, after all. Oh, yeah, I'm just really tired and I have not relaxed. There have been very few times where I have relaxed in the last 3 years of being here. That is probably inevitable. And also, traveling for the sake of traveling, which I have also been doing, is just not great. There, it's romanticized a lot, but there are still moments of wonder, to be clear, at these amazing places, but it's oh so brief. And after a while, it just feels like you have seen it all. Um, I have an offer from my older brother's wife in California to crash at his place until I can find a new job. And I also have an offer from my aunt in Hawaii to stay there. And I still can't drive though, so I just end up stuck at the house. And I just don't want to be stuck in a little town. But everyone who I've talked to who lives in California really likes it there, enjoys living there, which is odd given the things you read on the internet. It's like, what the hell though? Like, I'll go check it out. Sure. Why not? Um, yeah, but first I'm going to go explore Scandinavia a little bit since it's the summer and I haven't been there so much. And yeah, I just, I have some idea of how immigrants feel now. And dog, it is tough. Like, it's tough enough for them as it is. Yeah. So I think the next thing for me is that it'll be an interesting experiment to compare living again in Europe versus the US because I've almost completely forgotten what it's like in the US. And at this point, I've lived in Europe more in the States. I've explored more, I've lived my life more. And I was, for example, too afraid in the States to even go to the grocery store. And I'm just really curious how I'll do now and how it'll feel and how bad the living situation has actually gotten versus what I have now and the kind of opportunity I have now. And maybe I'll just live in a dumpster in the US in the back of a Wendy's, as the memes go, or if Wendy's doesn't go out of business because, nobody can afford to eat fast food anymore. I think maybe the rest of my life, I will look for what I had for the last few months in the hostel in Amsterdam. And yeah, so the people in my life are my happiness, and not so much my surroundings, I think. That's all for now. Peace.